Today I speak about circuitry. Circuitry is a technical term from human design. It describes channels in your chart, and you can find out more about that in the links under this article, under this video. And the important circuitry for now is the individual one. And it is important because four of the big planets influence the big picture, our society, the time we're in, are all in this individual circuitry in their transits. And that is Pluto, that is Saturn, that is Uranus, and it is Jupiter. And so I'm going to explain what they do, and also I'm going to show what they do to me in my chart, so that you have a live example of this. So here you see these circuitries, and the individual one is that one in the middle. And one thing about this individual circuitry is it really is asking us to find our own truth. The things from outside are not going to work. And to me, these planets that are, crossing around in their orbits around the Earth, I can feel them, and it's to me like they are currents in the ocean, So it's like I'm a fish, or we are fish in the ocean, and there are these currents going on, and these are the energies from the planets. And we're humans. We are like aware fish. We can, we can also look at what's going on, and it seems to be the unique quality of the humans. And this awareness quality is also what we can bring now to our emotions. And this is one of the main things that human design is telling us. They call it the great change. And our individual part of that is we have an emotional center. It's a super powerful center. It's really the one that drives our behavior towards each other and how we see ourselves, how we feel ourselves. That is also an awareness center. And so we have that potential to bring awareness to how we feel. And how we feel influences how we think, how we see the world. And it can go in a deep level. That's the great change. You may have heard prophets speak about it. Ra was speaking about it. Richard Rudd from the Gene Key speaks about it. And they say that in 2027, or 7 years from now, that change is really happening. One of the things of this great change is also that the spirit, let's say our soul or the higher self or whatever, it's coming down in our body. It's working on us. It's doing physical stuff. It's doing stuff in our DNA. I can feel that, and I hear people also, all kinds of things are happening to the body. And so if things happen to your body and you're kind of wondering, of course, it can be a medical thing, and also be open to the possibility that it is spirit working on us. And my sense is that this great change, these years, they are not going to be easy, because everything old is changing away. It's a time of mutation. And finally, a flower is going to be born out of this. It's going to turn for the good. And how can I say that? Because sure, it's scary what's going on. And still I feel that. And that has to do with my individual human design chart, my circuitry. Because I have channel 2343, which is called genius or freak. And you can decide who's speaking at this moment. That gets this kind of insights. Individual circuitry knows stuff. And there's no way to explain why it knows that. And this is this channel is connected to the throat, so it knows it and it also wants to say it. The channel 2461, where Pluto and Uranus are in this time, gets insights. It may not know how to express, but it gets deep insights, and they happen in your moments of silence. And then you go down in the chart, and you see I have in my design the 515. It's a channel of waiting. And which means I have to wait for the right moment to say that stuff, those things that I get, those things that I just know. Okay. And then when you go one more step down, there's a channel 360, which is again individual circuitry. And gate 60, that's where later Pluto will be. It's one of those channels, one of those gates that is also much activated in this time. And that's the gate where things become real. They call it limitation, but that limitation is because this is where we hit rock bottom, where we hit the material. It's like a birth. So yeah, in order for it to become real, it passes through a limitation. So if you see that, if I look at that, and if you look at it in my chart, you can see there's, in this point through the transits, there's a flow from the very top to the bottom. And it's easy for me to have insights, to speak about them, to share them, and to ground them. Well, that's still work for me, but it is easier to ground them. And I tell you this as a demonstration, how this circuitry helps us, can help us. So if you want to know how that works for you, and also if you want to find out more about circuitry, then I invite you warmly to join us in our webinar. I say us because I do that with a colleague, Nancy Monsoon. That webinar is pretty soon. It's on the 22nd, that is Wednesday. I'm giving you a link so you can sign up for it. And if you sign up, you have a chance that we choose you for a short introductory demonstration session on circuitry, because we're going to demonstrate this live on participants to the webinar. So I hope to see you there, and thank you.